happen to love the number 5?
I have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Marvin, you're naked.
Stop looking at me, Swan!
You have until the count of 5.
Welcome to the Got Till 5 podcast. My name is Max, his name is Jesse, and look who's down below. It's my old mate, Elliott. Hello, buddy.
Hey, Max, how are you doing, man? And hey to you too, Jesse. Been a long time.
Yeah, man.
Been with you too.
Exactly. When was the last show that we did? Year and a half ago?
I think it's bang on a year and a half ago. Because when I go on my Skype, it says 18 months since we last spoke on
We're
there.
always
so,
there.
I suppose you're not looking at it from like obviously your career sort of took off after Got Till 5, right?
That's
so
it. Yeah, that's
the
it.
before and after. Yeah.
I did send you a check in the post. It must have got lost like Royal Mail or something, but
Yeah.
Oh no, I cashed it. Just Jesse doesn't get a cut. Jesse doesn't get a cut of the profits.
I don't have a home. I don't know where I am right now.
No. I'm wearing our new Got Till 5 merch, but the way my camera's set, you can't see it. But there you go, everyone.
Oh, I didn't think to wear the merch. Oh, I'll wear it next time.
You would just sit up, and this is just how I do the show for the whole thing.
Yeah, do it. Bit of rapping. I'm wearing BMO holding a skateboard, which is probably better than our merch.
Hey,
that is a pretty cool t-shirt, to be fair.
There you go. And a
Yeah,
Rey
man,
Mysterio
hoodie.
Oh,
hoodie. I'm rapping a bit of
that's
wrestling.
nice. That is nice.
Very nice. We've got Elliott repping Kamikaze.
I am repping the cami today. I was very tempted to do this in full wrestling gear, but you can only see me from the up. It's like Anchorman, the suit and tie, and then just the shorts.
Doesn't work the reverse, does it, for wrestling? Really
Nah, unfortunately.
So, not to depress you right off the bat, but how long has it been since you got in a ring?
It was March the 7th last year. Was me versus Luke. Me versus Luke Douglas at Wolf Run. To be honest, if I had to, if that was going to be my last match, I would be quite happy with it. To be honest, I was wrestling Luke, so we just went crazy. I think we had about 5 false finishes in before the first minute had even clocked in the match, and that so it was just mental. So yeah, that was my last one. Missed out on so many since then, but I'm just raring and ready to go now.
Have you kept in shape through lockdown, or have you just given up like the rest of us?
Hell no, I gave up. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think when it first came out and that, and like I got sent home from work and that, I think I was like everyone else. Give it a couple of weeks. It's going to be fine. It's going to be over. So I hit the brownies, hit the cookies, you know, the Uber Eats, did my bit for the economy, things like that. But yeah, then I think I looked in the mirror and realised I was like, oh, you're not going to be able to fit into your wrestling gear at this rate. So I think I peaked, and now I'm coming down from that peak. Yeah, now that we've got the kind of semi date on this roadmap, it's time to get jiggy with it, I suppose. Yeah.
Just as long as you're not wearing the Chris Hero basketball jersey, that's when you know that shit's gone too far, right?
Oh yeah, that's it. If ever I had to get a T-shirt or some special vest made.
Well, I think there was an era in 2002 when they made Big Show wear jeans as well, which was a dark time for him.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Although I did wrestle someone in jeans once, and I did find it. I mean, I didn't think they looked very good, but I found it a lot easier to grab hold of them. Like the jeans have got good waistbands in. Like you can get your fingers in them belt hoops, and it's better than pulling on. Betting on, like, I've done it before. I've like grabbed hold of some guy's trunks or something, and then I've lifted him up into the air. I've realised that I'm actually pulling his trunk, and his trunks are like up here, by like his and then he's got like just full ass hanging out and stuff. So
Little bollock coming your way. Yeah.
yeah.
You go to full. Do you remember when Roddy Piper came back and he just didn't give a shit? He just shirt off, massive 60-year-old beer gut, and he just rocked it.
See, that's what I want. That is the ideal life. Do you remember that there was a Southern Comfort advert, and it was just this geezer walking along the beach in the tiniest little speedos with his gut and everything hanging out and stuff. But he looked happy. He looked so happy, and that's all I want. I'd love to be able to just get out in the middle of the ring, take my top off, and be like, "Yeah, man, this is me. I'm what." And
normalize those beauty standards in wrestling, people. This is where we all need to get to.
Don't judge me, love me.
I think the audience would feel more relatable. Yeah, that's it. The audience would be able to relate to you more as well if you looked like one of them, as opposed to the opposite. Yeah,
that's why Kevin Owens is so successful. It's one of the reasons Kevin Owens is so successful.
See, I love how he's just open about it. He's just like, yeah, I really like eating food, and I don't like training in the gym a lot.
Yeah, I saw a great interview with Sami Zayn recently, and he was talking about one of the Ring of Honor matches he had with Kevin Owens, and he said Kevin Owens was just really on it that night, and so he was beating the shit out of El Generico at the time, but sort of popping the crowd at the same time, like just delivering these really funny lines, like as he was beating the shit out of Sami. And Sami Zayn said it was like being beaten up by a stand-up comedian, which he didn't realize until then is just the worst experience in the world. The crowd laughing at you as you're getting battered.
It's strange, because I try and give the crowd as much like back talking stuff as I can, but sometimes you're in there and you're knackered, and some fan will say something, and you'll have like the perfect comeback in your head. And you're like, oh, if I go to this, I'll have to take a couple of breaths halfway through this sentence. Whereas Kevin Owens, like, he just doesn't ever sound out of breath either. Like, he's got the cardio, and he'll back it up. He'll back it up with his talking. A massive fan, big fan.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're talking to Elliott Jordan, by the way. I don't know if we actually introduced you properly. The Elliott Jordan Experience.
The Elliott Jordan Experience. Thank you.
Yeah, top British wrestler. And we're very happy to have you here.
Exactly.
Very happy to be here again.
We just got all excited about catching up, and we just like went straight into it.
I forgot we were recording.
I haven't seen new faces in so long, so it's been such a long time. So it's just great, yeah.
It's mental, isn't it? Have you been catching up with any other wrestling stuff, like watching things, or?
You know what? I hadn't for a long time. I think when like lockdown first came out, I kind of kept up with AEW a bit, and just the stuff that I'd watch anyway. But then when it all came to, well, no shows at all over here, and then everywhere, like on the walls on TV, are all like behind closed door shows and things. I don't know, it just didn't seem the same for me. And then because I couldn't just go out and wrestle on the weekend or go to the unit and train and things, I just kind of put it onto the back burner. Whereas I think the past couple of months I have started to watch a bit more. Like, I haven't really watched anything on TV. I haven't even watched the Rumble yet. That's how bad I got. I've just been watching my matches. Like every few days I'll put another one on, just kind of motivating myself for training purposes and things like that. But yeah, as soon as things get open again, I'm just gonna jump straight back on it.
When you said motivated, at first I had just a picture of you in a dark room with your matches, and you just kind of stroking the screen like, soon I'll be back.
Or just aggressively doing push-ups in front of the telly.
Oh no, yeah. No, it is, because I think sometimes I'll before I go on my dinner at work, I'll just sit and I'll put one on my phone or something, and then the match will finish. I'll have to go on my dinner, and then I can't not work out now, because it's like, well, you look at yourself back then, and then you look at yourself in the mirror, and you're like, "Come on, man, you got to." So it actually is. It is working for me. But I got some new wrestling gear which came literally maybe about 6 weeks into lockdown. The guy messaged me for my measurements, and I was like, "Oh, this is the worst time." I was like, "Can you just use my old measurements, please? I ain't changed so much since then." And the gear arrived, and I've got it in my room, still in the box. I opened the box, I took the gear out to make sure it was the right stuff, and I haven't dared open it again since.
Oh man, need to pop that baby's cherry.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I think that's what everyone's got to get used to, because they've started like, oh, we're announcing shows. We'll get like first show in April, first thing in June. I saw some wrestler tweeted, they were like, can we just have a couple of months to get like the ring rust out and get back in shape? Because imagine that first show back and everyone's just hasn't done it for a year. It's just going to be all over the place.
That's it. I've seen people say like that they want a bit of time. Some people saying they want to just jump in at the deep end again. But yeah, I think it's just for everyone. They can't. I don't know. Let's say things open June the 12th. You can't have shows running on June the 12th. You've got to let us guys have a bit more have time in the gym, get time back in the ring again and things. Because I think if you don't, like you say, you're going to be faced with a load of wrestlers who've done nothing for a year and a half. It's not going to be as good a show. It's not going to be as good as quality in that. And I'm just hoping, because I know gyms can open from April the 12th.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that I can get back in the ring a couple of weeks after that. And have a couple of months training under my belt before things can reopen. 'Cause I think every wrestler would be the same. If someone rang me today and says, "Oh, can you wrestle? Can you come and wrestle now?" Like, yeah, man, get me there. Like, get me there somehow. It'd happen. But in hindsight, yeah, we need time.
I think at a safety angle.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It'll be good fun. But I'm looking forward to first shows. I'm excited for the first Cammy show.
Oh,
I'll be
same,
there,
man.
front and center.
It is going to be insane, absolutely insane. The first show's back, because I know that every promotion that I work for, when you go to the first show after lockdown of all them, it's just gonna be the best. I can't wait to get in the ring and hear that you've got your head on upside down chant. Like,
you're just gonna be waiting, like, bring it to me.
Yeah, I'll be on my knees. I'll just be like, give it to me. Yeah. Oh,
it's gonna be like all of that, like first wrestling shows, first gigs. They're just gonna be the best experiences. So
yeah, that's it.
Can you wait? So, shall we talk about what we're here to talk about? Because, dear viewers, we've been dicks, me and Jesse, because we're like, Elliot, come on, we really want to have you back on the show. And then we went, what should we do as a topic? Because we don't do top 5 wrestling anymore. And we've been grasping at straws for episodes. So we thought, let's do top 5 video games to combine. So you take the best of one and the best of the other to make the most ultimate video game. And it was difficult.
Oh, it was so difficult.
Did you struggle, Jesse?
Yeah, well, sort of. I mean, it's one of those things, like, it takes you ages to think of one. And then once you thought of one, they all start spilling out. But then you think, would this actually be good, or do I just like both of these games separately? And if you put them together, it would actually be shit. I had quite a few of them. But it's a weird one. And I appreciate you coming up for the challenge, Elliot, because it's not easy at all.
I think you don't work for them. I've got your picks here, and I'm excited to see how you're going to merge them. But we'll have Mr. Benz kick off and show us how it's done with his number 5 pick. Oh, he's getting ready. Get focused, Jesse.
It's a bit niche, this one, I think. But
it is a bit niche, so you're going to have to explain the games. So, number 5 is...
Oddworld, Abe's Exodus, and Age of Empires 2. Elliot, are you familiar with either or both of these games?
Oh, yeah. I've played. I don't think I've played Oddworld, Abe's Exodus. I've played some of them in that series. But yeah, Age of Empires, that is my jam.
Right. So I picked any Oddworld game, really. I chose Abe's Exodus because it's got like all the different aliens and shit in it. But Age of Empires 2, I have just spent fucking hours of my life just with this laptop that I'm speaking in now on my lap, just, I don't know, being some country, building up my community, kicking the shit out of other countries, moving on with my life. And the only thing that could make it better is if you took the Age of Empires play sort of style of gaming and just put a world that you fucking love into it as well. So I've chosen Oddworld because I think it's got quite a cool dark feel to it, and there's different species of aliens. So like Abe is a Mudokan, you could have a clan of Mudokans and you build up this community, and then you go and fight the Gluckans or the Sligs or the bad guys, or you could be the bad guys and build up your community and enslave the Mudokans. I just love the idea of it. But I think you could casually enslave. I was telling Max earlier, me and a mate from school used to pretend that we were the Gluckans, who were the bad guys in Oddworld, and would like spend lessons at school doing blueprints of our slave labor camps, where we'd be like taking all the Mudokons. Yeah, it's not a healthy. I don't think I was a healthy child, but it's turned me into this beautiful person you see today.
It's worked, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I feel good about this. But Oddworld is a great world. The aliens are awesome. Age of Empires is great. I don't know why there's not more games like Age of Empires, to be honest. Just take that gameplay and put some cool because I mean I like history and that, but it can be a bit lame. Like I want some cooler sci-fi elements to it.
When they've done it perfectly, it's a bit hard to kind of like Age of Empires was the first, and then Civilizations came out, and yeah, like Civs is one of the best games of all time. So if I was a game developer, I'd go, yeah, I'm not going to try. Not even going to touch it.
But
I've never played it. Never played the Civs. I've played all the Age of Empires, but Sid Meier's Civilization. I need to get around to that. Yeah, that's on the,
lose
on the
days.
list. Oh, I can imagine. I lose days to like Age of Empires. You've got your Age of Empires, your Total Wars. You've got all these historical strategic games, which they are just so cool, and you can lose days
I love
and
it.
nights on them.
And the culture around Age of Empires 2, still, it came out in like 99 or something. And if you go on Steam and look at it, people are still making mods. Like the forums are still really alive. Like people are still well into it. I love that. I love that. Maybe that sort of shows again why no one's copied it, because it is really fucking good. And a game from 99 is still massively popular. But I just love the playthrough and I want more, please.
Well, I think that's just a testament to the game, into that you could download it today and go on and still have as good a time as if you were back in 99.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've lost. You just lose. Like I look down at Age of Empires and then I look up and it's like midnight and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like this, I've barely done anything.
How likely do you think it will be? So like you're combining Abe and you've got Dimudokans and everything. Will people pick the bad guys, Jesse? Or will that just be you?
Well, I know one guy that, it's
this guy.
No, but isn't it? But so the Mudokans, Abe's lot, are quite spiritual aliens, and the game sort of promotes being one with nature, and the bad guys have taken that away from them, and all that. That's cool, but I prefer the enslaving and corporate side of shit. So I think a lot of people deep down just want to enslave and dominate.
Jesse's fought to his own and not those of the Doctor 5 podcast. Strong start. You bought Civs on the Switch, didn't you, Jesse?
Switch. Yeah, I haven't actually played. I only bought it because it was on sale, and I haven't played it either, Elliot. So, but I want to, like, because it does look good, and you tell me how brilliant it is, Max. But yeah, I bought it on sale. I haven't touched it yet. There's a game called Bravely Default out on the Switch tomorrow that I want to play a lot of, so I don't want to get distracted by anything right now. Stop distracting me!
Jesse just hoards games. He's trying to collect every single Switch title known to man. So
I'm doing all right.
I can only usually play one game at a time. Like, I'll just have to have that one game, and I'll just destroy it for weeks or however long, and then I'll just move on to the next one. Yeah,
I think that's healthy.
A bit of a hoarder.
What's your normal console then, Elliot? What's your go-to?
Normally, I've got my Xbox, but I have been a PC gamer over the years. I'm actually doing I'm doing this on my new PC because I've been playing a couple of games recently on this, but usually an Xbox guy. I did get a PS4 during lockdown because there was a load of exclusives I wanted to give it a go. Then just sold it off when I'd finished them. But Mega Drive, PS1, PS2, GameCube, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and now here on the computer. Yeah,
amazing. He's done them all.
Years, yeah,
I was going to say you've dabbled in them all.
I never thought I'd fall in love with my Switch as much as I have the last couple of years. Just like, especially in lockdown and stuff, like just having something that you can pick up, and do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I need a poo. Doesn't matter. I can take the Switch with me. I can carry on playing. It's brilliant.
I wanna get one because it's the one thing I hate about wrestling is when you go into a show, and I don't know, it could be
That'd be perfect.
Like, yeah, I've had them before. I've had to take like 5-hour bus journeys up to Newcastle at 6 a.m. or something. You can't sleep. Switch would have been perfect. Or like even just when you're at a show, like
Sitting around.
you could be sitting there for like 5-6 hours of your day. So yeah, having a Switch would be ideal. It is like the perfect console for that sort of thing. Yeah,
nice.
Get Mario Kart and those like cami screens. Hook them up to either side.
Oh, that'd be cool. Screw the show. I just wouldn't do the show.
Show's cancelled.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Mario Kart final.
Just me and Miguel for 3 hours playing Mario Kart with Max.
Hey, I think this is the way to do it. You have like a little tournament going off to the side. Whoever wins the Mario Kart tournament gets in the main event, challenges for the title. All of this money in the bank bullshit. It's nonsense.
But they have to dress as whatever character they were on Mario Kart.
Of course, exactly. So
yeah.
This is something should be decided by this skill of the person's skill on computer games from years ago.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah,
I want to see Luke Douglas come out as Princess Peach and challenge for the title. That's all I want. You as Waluigi. That's all I want.
as long as it's not Mortal Kombat, because I refuse to play Mortal Kombat with anyone from Kamikaze again. I'll never do it.
Colin's already on it. Colin's watching the show, and he's going to be getting the Mario Kart tournament underway. Thank you, Colin.
Nice.
That would be great. We discovered that Speedball Mike Bailey is actually just Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, and just the real version. The real version. He destroyed us all at this tournament, but then James he did the absolute dick move of he just kept on crouching and doing low kick constantly.
Why does this not surprise me?
Oh yeah. That's it. It does not surprise. The first time it does
jump and flip, and then they low kick.
Yeah. I hated him. You'd have like the first round against me. You get frustrated. And you were like, "Oh, it's all right. I know what you're doing now. I'll get you a second round." You don't know. He beat us all. He beat us all. Yeah.
Standard. All right, number 4. You ready for this, Elliot? This is your show. It is.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Been a Knights of the Old Republic and Fallen Order. Massive Star Wars guy, me. Huge Star Wars fan. Big RPG fan as well. So I think the Knights of the Old Republic, both of them, to be fair, absolutely fantastic games in terms of the storytelling. Obviously the things they could do were a bit hindered by the time and things and the consoles they were out on. But I think absolutely amazing games. The only bit of negativity I had for them, it's all turn-based. It's like your turn-based combat and things like that. So I think a KOTOR game, but with the gameplay of Fallen Order, and obviously the graphics and things like that, because it'd be released today. But I think as a Star Wars fan, and that'd probably be the ultimate game for me. That'd be it. It'd be game over. Well, life over, should I say? I'd just be on the Xbox on that all the time. And so I think the KOTOR games for me, I think I was about 12 or 13 when I played the first one. And I remember it being the first game that I remember sitting and putting like hours and hours doing all the side quests, all the companions, all the stories and things. But then I played Fallen Order and I thought, wow, this is probably the best Star Wars game I've played in a long time. So I think put probably one of the best role-playing games in history, and then the best Star Wars game under EA. Combine them two together, and you'd have Star Wars fans' wet dream.
Beautiful, baby.
Nice.
This is why I'm liking having you on this show, because I never get to talk about Star Wars on this show. Star Wars is my lifeblood, but with Jesse, it doesn't happen.
I don't dislike Star Wars. I'll tell you what the problem is with Star Wars and me, right?
Oh.
So when Phantom Menace, right, came out when I was 10 years old, perfect age for Phantom Menace, right?
Oh yeah.
So it came out. I fucking loved it. Like I was well into that shit. Darth Maul, Jar Jar Binks, don't give a shit. I liked it. I was 10. And then I get into it. I'm telling everyone I like it. And then these older fucking neckbeards, like even when I'm 10 years old, are telling me how shit it is. And how, oh, it's nothing like the old ones. Like, oh, Phantom Menace is shit. Attack of the Clones came out. I love that shit. Everyone's like, oh, it's the worst Star Wars film that was ever made. And it's like, why can't I just fucking like what I like?
Yeah, that's what I've never understood that about Star Wars. Star Wars seems to be like wrestling. Fans are so passionate about it, but if they don't like something, then that's it. Everyone else has to hate it, and these fans they'll fight to the death. They'll fight to the death over it. I mean, yeah, I look at all the Star Wars films and I probably think, yeah, Phantom Menace, there's some bits in that I didn't enjoy. Rise of Skywalker, absolutely shite. But it's not going to stop me from loving Star Wars as a whole. Like, I don't love every single part of Star Wars. Just Star Wars, should I say. Just like I don't love every part of wrestling. But I'm not going to shit on the parts that I don't like. I'm just not going to bother with them. I just concentrate on the parts that I do like. And
yeah, totally. Well, I didn't run into lovely people like you when I was like a young boy, and they all ruined it for me. One thing I do like about Star Wars, though, is like they've obviously got these massive blockbuster films, but we're talking about video games, and they have consistently and relatively quietly released these just really good games one after the other that get really well reviewed one after the other, and they just smash them out. It's great.
Oh yeah, I think some of the games that they made probably before any of us were really gaming and things. I remember having a game back on the PC. It was like the good old Packard Bell. I'm talking like 98. You could get like the X-Wing Alliance games. I'd like my joystick and things like that. Like when I was a kid, yeah, I saw the Star Wars films and that, but I was more introduced to it through gaming and through some of the amazing games that came out like back in the day and things. And like you say, there's the movies, but then there's all TV shows, there's books, comics, games, and there's some big moments in Star Wars games that you miss out on. You completely miss out on by not playing them, obviously.
Yeah, totally. You excited about the Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ewan McGregor show that they're
oh yeah, I love Ewan McGregor. I think everyone has always wanted to see what happened to Obi-Wan and that, and I just don't think it's going to be what people are expecting. I think everyone's been so absolutely blown away by the Mandalorian, everything they're doing over there.
100%.
So now they did the Mandalorian with a completely new and unknown character. So what they're going to be able to do with probably one of the most loved people in Star Wars and a terrific actor like Ewan as well.
Yeah, it'd be wicked.
It's mental how they've turned around the TV shows, like the most successful, because the movies get, diehard fans can love them or they can hate them, as you were saying. It's pick and nose. But the TV shows, you look at the Clone Wars animated show, the Mandalorian, all of the cartoon stuff they put out is just so beloved because they do it so well, like insanely well. And it's the same for the games as well. I mean, I have to be honest. So Knights of the Old Republic, absolutely love that game, can play it again and again. I did struggle with Fallen Order just because I don't know if I found it too complicated. They overcomplicated a lot of the control systems. But
yeah, they did.
Running around and some of the stuff you got to do with the stormtroopers and the battles was amazing. Like, it's cinematic wise, it was insane.
Oh yeah, it's funny you should say that, because as soon as I did Fallen Order like when it came out, and then I replayed it during lockdown. And as soon as I finished it, I went and got. Can you remember The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2?
Yeah.
I downloaded them on Xbox Store for like a $5 or something, and I played them, and I was like, "Oh wow, these are so." They I think were better than Fallen Order. But it's just the graphics and the cinematic experience of Fallen Order. I know they're doing a sequel, and I just hope, because the only thing I didn't like about that game was the repetitiveness. Like you'd finish one planet, but then you'd have to go back to that planet to unlock certain things, and it wasn't like a linear story. It was all over a little bit, but still, I think one of the best EA games to come. Well, one of the best Star Wars games to come from EA.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, give me Kota's story and controls, and then put that with Fallen Order graphics and some of the world they built up in that as well. I'd be a happy man playing that for a couple of hours for sure. Excellent choices. Excellent choices. Oh, it's nice to talk about Star Wars.
I used to have a Star Wars encyclopedia when I was a little boy, and I loved that shit. I don't know. I got it as a present or something. See, you're one of those twats. Why do you need that? Yeah.
I remember you didn't like it, so I was like, why did you get one?
It was a present, but I liked it then. It was nice looking at that.
Do you think we can ever get you back into it? Because obviously we're best friends, and Star Wars is such a massive part of my life. Is there any way that we can pull you in? How do we do it?
Has he seen The Mandalorian?
No.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Job done.
So,
yeah.
6.
All right.
Going to be the best 7 hours of your life.
All right, with clothes on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
Close.
Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, I think The Mandalorian is just some absolutely fantastic TV. I think Favreau and Filoni, they should be getting awards for that, because that is amazing.
Just give them the whole universe. Just give Favreau and Filoni.
They should have from the start.
Yeah, they'd be very happy. But yeah, Elliott's right, Jesse. It's if you like westerns, it's more to say if you like westerns, watch Mandalorian, not say do you like Star Wars, watch Mandalorian. So
okay, I'll give it. I will give it a go. Just for you two.
Thank you. All right, number 3. It's my turn. I have struggled all goddamn day because I've been messaging Jesse non-stop, being like, what about this? What about this? What about this? I originally went back to my very first choice.
I don't know what you went for.
I went for my first choice, which has to be the right one. So, Shenmue 2 and Sleeping Dogs.
2.
He's a good man. He's in good company.
Yeah.
So you want the gameplay of Sleeping Dogs with the voice acting of Shenmue 2, right?
Exactly, Jesse.
Because that's what I want.
I want Tom and his hot dog stand and all of that. Beating the crap out of people. So, for people that don't know the Shenmue series, you probably haven't watched enough of our podcast because me and Jesse talk about it pretty much every episode. But it's about a young boy from Japan. His dad gets murdered by this mysterious man called Landy, and then he spends the rest of his young adult life trying to find Landy. Takes a sweet time about it because he speaks so slow. And then he takes a job in a warehouse, gets distracted for a little bit. But then eventually in the second game goes to Hong Kong to track him down, gets distracted by forklift job.
Capsule
toys. Having naps, playing on the arcade machines.
Are we lighting up some nostalgia for you, Elliot?
You are. I've not played Shenmue. I've probably said it wrong. I can't talk at the moment. But Shenmue 2. Loved that game. Absolutely loved it. I've just had nightmares of I remember there was a level in it where there was some leaves falling from a tree, and you had to catch them with two fingers. God, I hated that bit.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the one game where me and my older brother, like, we kind of played it together. Such a cool game. Such a cool game. As soon as you said forklift truck, I was like, yeah.
He's right back in there. He's right back. In the second game, there's so many frustrating bits. You've got the leaf grabbing. You've got the taking the books out of the monk area, and you've got to like balance and do the QTE.
Oh yeah.
Like when if anyone just plays that QTE sound to me, I just go into shock of just like PTSD. And I'm just not again.
Do you remember the job you had to take with the bloke when you're carrying boxes from one end of the warehouse to the other?
Yeah.
You're just carrying it. He's going left, right, left, right. You're like, fucking hell.
I just don't know what they do in Hong Kong. Like, I don't want to work in a warehouse in Hong Kong. Like, no.
And then the gambling place would be right next to your warehouse, so I just go and spend. I was meant to be saving it to go and like find information about my dad, but I'd go and gamble it on. It's
the most basic gambling game as well. He rolls dice, and then you say whether it's going to be higher or lower than like 3 or something. There's like no. It's just no fair odds. There's no skill whatsoever.
No skill, but it's just one of the best games ever made, Shenmue 1 and 2. But Sleeping Dogs, did you ever play Sleeping Dogs, Elliot?
I haven't yet, but it is on my. I've got a long list of games that I haven't got around to. Sleeping Dogs is on there.
A lot of people slept on it when it came out.
Oh, hello! Oh, he's working.
He's working today, lads. Okay, so Sleeping Dogs is set in Hong Kong, and there's a. He starts off as like a criminal, doesn't he? And then he becomes an undercover cop.
No. He's an undercover cop the whole time.
Yes, but he's bad at the beginning.
He's playing. Well, he's with the criminals. So the idea is
that was it.
I think you get choices. So in every mission, you do the right thing as a cop or the bad thing as a criminal, and that shapes the ending. Really,
a bit like Splinter Cell Double Agent. You ever play that?
Yeah, same sort of thing. So yeah, the choices. But you might do the right thing as a cop, but that'll blow your cover, right? So sometimes you kind of have to do what the criminal would do because you need to stay undercover.
Oh. Yeah. I think this has just jumped up a few places on my list actually now.
It's really good.
Yeah. The driving in it and the it's mainly the fighting mechanic in this game. The fighting in it is so good because you can use environments to fuck people up. So you can ram them into fans or chuck them over bridges and just do all kinds of stuff with the payphone. You can kick them in and beat them with the...
bit Arkham Asylum-y, in the way the battle system is. Would you agree with that, Max?
Yeah. So you got to press like buttons to dodge at a certain time, to disarm weapons. It's really smooth, the fighting system.
I like that though. Yeah, that's what I want when I play. When I play again, I think that's kind of what I was saying about KOTOR and things, because there's not so much an element of skill, which comes with you having to press the right buttons at the right time.
Yeah.
Using your environments and things like that. But my question is about using the environments. Is it as good as the Punisher game for using environments?
The Punisher game is next level violence, but I think Sleeping Dogs gives it a run for its money in terms of what you can do to people.
It's more violent than you expect, actually, isn't it? Some of the stuff you do, like you said, pushing people's heads into fans and stuff like that. It looks how you'd expect it to. Yeah,
electrocute people and all this kind of stuff. But there's great moments in Sleeping Dogs as well where you can kind of level up your martial arts and collect trophies. Like if you find a basketball court, there'll be a sparring session where you gotta defeat waves and waves of bad guys, and they like bet on you and that kind of stuff. That'd be so good in Shenmue, because like imagine Ryo just fucking up like 20 dudes and then making some cash from it. It'd be great
for a game. Shenmue, for a game that is so focused around martial arts, the actual battle system in Shenmue is pretty poor, or it hasn't aged well, really.
You know what? I should change this because like Shenmue 2 to me is perfect. The one I should be changing here
is Shenmue.
Shenmue 3.
I didn't even know there was a Shenmue 3.
Oh, Elliot. So this was a crowdfunder that they started in 2015, 2014, something like that. The game came out about 18 months ago, something like that. And it's not good. And it's such a shame. It's such a shame. They've
introduced all these weird mechanics where you've got to like eat to regain health, because Sleeping Dogs has that element. You can eat to regain health, which would be a better system. It shouldn't be, Ryo's getting tired because he hasn't eaten in 6 hours. It should be, I'm a little bit injured. I'll have a bit of prawns on a stick, whatever he eats, and then get your health back up.
I think Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, they did the whole, you've got to eat, and stuff. And I think that's the only game I've heard of where you actually do have to go and eat and things like that. And I think it's a bit much. I play games to kind of escape normality. I don't want to be
looking for snacks and
preparing dinner in a game. Like, I think that's a bit
GTA San Andreas was exhausting because you had to go work out. So you had to go eat, you had to go work out. And it's just like, I'm trying to avoid that in my regular life. Let's not.
I walked around like just anorexic on Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Skinny gangster.
Yeah.
And in Shenmue 3, the little town you start in, the only food that's available to begin with is whole pieces of garlic. Like, that's all that you can get. So Ryo must have fucking stunk in the first quarter of this game.
Just going up to people,
breathing garlic on everyone.
do you know where the magic tree is? And they're like,
oh,
back up. It's down there.
It's funny you brought Shenmue up because it's available on the Xbox, or at least it was the other day when I checked, and I nearly got Shenmue 2 as well. I think I'm gonna have to go and check it back now.
Yeah, they released the HD Shenmue 1 and 2. Definitely worth checking out because we bought it, and that's really all we needed. We didn't need a third game. We just needed
replay the first two forever.
It is one of them games where I think, he's crying out for a full updated like re-release sort of thing. But then I think the original was just like the 1 and 2 were just that good that you could, if you're a true fan, you could happily still play them now.
Yeah, it's got a charm.
Have a good time. Yeah.
They were ahead of their time, and I always know that's such a cop-out to say when people, but they were ahead of their time, like, you got to play it, it's one of those games, but it really was. It came out in 1998, and you had this full open-world place to explore, you had mini-games, you had challenges, you had stuff to investigate, you had a fighting system. It was ridiculous.
Sorry, go on, Elliot.
Oh no, yeah, you go on. I want to read a story about your
my little Shenmue fact that I say every time we talk about Shenmue is they put so much money into making it that the budget was so vast that everyone in the world that owned a Dreamcast at the time would have had to buy the game twice just for it to break even on its budget. Like, that's it made a beautiful game, but that's bad business planning.
Oh yeah.
That killed the Dreamcast.
Don't run your business like that. But I think there was a few games that came out on like those first couple of generations of consoles, which were really groundbreaking and really outside of the box, like your Shenmue with all, like you've said there, Max, all the different things in that. Games like Fable and that could come to mind, which if they'd have come out like 20 years later, imagine like how insane they'd be with today's standards and things. But I think they're absolutely beautiful games to go back to and things. Kids today just don't. They don't know what it's like, man.
Yeah, with your Fortnites and your Minecrafting, get off my lawn. Outrageous.
I think Breath of the Wild is a fairly recent game of that ilk, I would say. That just the vastness of that is stunning. But
they come around rarely, though. They come around rarely. For me, you can improve Shenmue 3 massively by just putting in the sleeping dogs mechanics, the fighting style, the way food is handled, just the look of it as well still looks so good. And these are two games, the Shenmue series and Sleeping Dogs. I rarely go back and complete games over and over again, but the Shenmue series and Sleeping Dogs I've done to death. And I know everyone always says put Shenmue and Yakuza series together, but no, Sleeping Dogs is better than Yakuza, and you can fight me on that. Not really.
There's a lot of dialogue in Yakuza.
There's a lot.
A bit too much.
That's what I learned. Yeah.
I almost bought that one that had like Okada and Naito and stuff in it, just because it had Okada and Naito in it, and then I went, no, life's short. Stop wasting your time.
Yeah, I've got the Okada attire on Tekken. You can dress King as Okada in one of the Tekken games. That's my New Japan feel.
Yeah, Tekken they did a full crossover because you get like Bullet Club stuff and Oh, do you remember those peak days of wrestling when it was just like everything? Bullet Club was at the height in UK
King
wrestling.
It was King were based off. Was it Tiger Mask?
Yes, that's right.
Based the character off the wrestler, didn't they? And things. Yeah. So, no.
And Black Tiger, I can't remember his name in Tekken, but there's like a Steel King or something, isn't there? Like basically a Black Tiger mask as well. I'm thinking
King with the, I think that's his name, with the cheetah head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
it was my favourite.
Do you remember that Wrestle Kingdom opening? It must have been like Wrestle Kingdom 12 or 13, where they had two anime. It was like King and someone actually had a fight, but one of them was like Ibushi with this.
It was Ibushi and fucking hell, who was it? Was it Moose? I think maybe who played the Black Tiger mask.
One of them, but it was just such a random little crossover for them to do. And Ibushi cosplaying and just having a wrestle, but still wrestling exactly like Ibushi, like nothing changing. I'm still going to drop you on your neck. Yeah, I'm going to drop you in your neck, but I'm going to dress as a tiger. That's how I'm
going to drop myself on my neck.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I forgot his style for a second. But in Japan, neck injuries don't exist. It's fine.
No, it's true. Yeah, there's something about the crossing over to that continent where your neck can no longer break.
Yeah,
I think it's just necks don't exist. You got a hospital in Japan for a broken neck. Just don't know what you've done.
Laugh you out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. All right, well, number 2. We're flying through. I'm liking this. Elliot, it's you again.
Oh, what was it? Oh, yes. Bit controversial, I think, this, because
I was going to say Brave.
Mass Effect 1 and 2. You know what? Screw it. Let's say it all. Mass Effect, the first 3 games, I thought were absolutely amazing. I was blown away. They were it was like KOTOR, but it was obviously an upgraded console, and the graphics were really good for the time. The story took place over the 3 games. It actually remembered the choices, even the little choices and things that you've made. 'Cause I think so many games say, "Oh, every choice affects." It doesn't. It's a load of bollocks. And in Mass Effect, it actually was. I can't remember. There was on the first game. I don't know if you've ever played it. One of your big alien pals, the Krogan, and you've got a choice to make whether to destroy the factory, which is like creating his species, or help him and stuff. I remember just sitting there, like looking at my screen. I was like, "Wow, this is amazing." I've tried to do another playthrough of it since I completed all 3 of them, but it was just that good that I couldn't bring myself to do it again, because I was like, "Oh, you might ruin your first one." But I think all 3 of the games, I absolutely loved the Mass Effect trilogy, and now I get to Cyberpunk. Oh, Cyberpunk! What could have been? I was so excited about Cyberpunk to come out. I was imagining this 200-hour long story with all the different characters, customizations, and everything that said that it was going to be on the tin. And then it came out and it just wasn't. Personally, I thought it was very, very good, but I just don't think it was as good as it should have been. But when I was thinking about this, Cyberpunk to me is one of the best games. I know I'm kind of shitting on it here, but it is one of the best games I've ever played. I was having like 10-hour sessions on that when it came out. Like, I did really get into it and things. So I think if you combined them 2 together, you did everything good. Everything good about Cyberpunk, like the customization, the real world feel, like you actually did kind of feel like you were in Night City. The just everything about it, in that regard. Combine that with Mass Effect, with the storytelling, the world building, so I think the characters and companions in Cyberpunk, they wanted you to like them, they wanted you to relate to them and want to see them. But a couple of them I did, but a couple of them I was just like, oh. Even Keanu, after a while, I was finding myself going, "Oh, Johnny, just leave me alone. Leave me alone."
Keanu, can I have 5 minutes, mate?
Yeah, but I think Mass Effect in first person, with all the good things about Cyberpunk, the combat, the customization, options, and just I think just the vision in general. I love what they tried to do. Had they succeeded, I think I'd just be sitting here saying it was the best game I've ever played. But put those 2 together, I think you've got one amazing RPG, sci-fi RPG.
Yeah, nice, 100%.
Do you think Cyberpunk will be fixed? Do you think they're going to be patching it and trying to make it better, or do you think the reaction has been so negative when it came out. They've gone, "Oh, fuck it, we're never gonna."
Yeah.
What's the point in working on this because we've already lost our audience?
I mean,
I think so. Yeah.
No Man's Sky did a great job in terms of like No Man's Sky got trashed into because they were another one that over delivered. They were like, "Oh, this is what you can do. You can fly. You can explore planets, name it after stuff. It's this massive thing." Didn't deliver, but they've spent the next 8 years patching it and making it, and it's an amazing game now. I love playing No Man's Sky. It's perfect.
I hope that Cyberpunk goes that way, because I think they were in two minds about bringing it out on the current gen, but they should have just stuck to just wait till the next generation. It clearly wasn't ready. Wasn't ready for this one. Like, I don't know if you used to play, but I did on my Xbox. And it just randomly freeze. It would randomly freeze and stuff and knock you out all the time. So
just didn't work on the old gen. Like it worked. Yeah. Apparently, it works and looks great on the new gen, but old gen players are just like it's unplayable.
See, it wasn't unplayable for me. If I had maybe like a 10-hour gaming session, I'd probably have to turn it on and off again a couple of times, like maybe 2 or 3. But it was just I went into that game just expecting so much more. What they did do well. They did amazingly well. Like the graphics, the combat, just the driving around Night City, and that for me, it felt really, really, really good. But I think I'd completed it. I'd completed it in about 60 hours or less. And from the marketing and things and all the stuff I'd seen online, I was expecting 150, like Skyrim. Obviously the main story is never going to be really, really long, but I expected more, more twists, more turns, and just a bit more. What I did get, I really enjoyed, but I wish I'd have had more, which is why I'm combining it with Mass Effect.
I think it's a great combination. Like Mass Effect is one of the, as you were saying, so many games promised it like, oh, what you do does the outcome. No, it doesn't. It's a very linear story and like it will move the needle like this. But Mass Effect, the choices you make can, kill Rex, as you were saying, or get love partners and love interests, and it does completely affect the story. And it's insane how detailed it is, especially over the course of those 3 games where you get to carry your choices. Like I remember being in the Citadel or wherever I was, and like I pissed someone off a couple of hours back, completely forgot, run into her again at the space station, and she's like, "Oh, you again?" And I'm like, "I don't remember you." But I'm a dick to her for the rest of that game series now. Game 3, she pops up, still a dick to her. No forgiveness.
Oh yeah. But that's the thing with Mass Effect, you got these characters, and you actually you were interested by them. You were related to them. You wanted I know you wanted to know more about them and things. Whereas with a game like Cyberpunk, like there was a couple of characters I thought, oh, this geezer's cool, but that was as far as it goes. I never really wanted to go and do missions for him and things like that. Whereas on Mass Effect, I'd finish a mission and you'd be running around your ship. I'd actually want to go and talk to the characters, like carry on their stories and things. But yeah, you'd be in the third game, and a choice that you'd have made in the first game that you would probably on like a side quest or something comes back to bite you in the ass 3 games later, and you're like, man, yeah.
Why? Now I gotta start all over again.
I was just there for the interspecial banging.
It was all right, yeah.
Jesse cleaned up. But yeah, fantastic games, and Cyberpunk is it just over delivered. You had too good a marketing team, and like obviously CD Projekt Red, we know they've delivered in the past. The Witcher 3 is one of the most popular games ever made, and everyone was expecting Witcher 3 level from a sci-fi game, and they released that, what was it, half an hour gameplay. I was 100% sold.
Oh yeah, it looked amazing. Yeah,
insane. Can't wait to get it. And then just fell on its ass. And I do hope they can patch it, but as you said, Jesse, they've lost that core audience. Like I'll go back and give something a chance, but what they could have had, that could have been such a revolutionary game for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think you get every generation will have the games that are the huge, even if you don't realize it at the time, like something like Age of Empires or Shenmue. and that people are still talking about and playing years later.
Yeah.
I thought Cyberpunk was going to be the one, like for this current generation, moving into the next gen consoles and things, but it just crashed and burned. I was just annoyed that I bought it on the Xbox as opposed to the actual disc and can't trade it in.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
well, that's depressing. Cheers, Elliot.
Depressing, but imagine just Cyberpunk and Mass Effect. That's what we're taking.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Would be an amazing game.
All right, number one, you and me, Jesse.
For us, let's do this.
Take the lead.
Oh, okay. Pokemon Heart Gold, and we've gone for Dragon Quest 11. So Max initially said Breath of the Wild for this. With Pokemon Heart Gold, and it's sort of the same sort of idea stands in a big sort of epic open world idea. But I actually think the Breath of the Wild open world is a bit too open world for Pokemon. Mm-hmm. You need to meet in the middle somewhere. Have you played Dragon Quest 11, Elliot, or any?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I'm pretty sure I know. I know what they are and what you're saying about the Breath of the Wild stuff, though, and that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's big open world, but it's still linear, really. It's almost tricking you. Like, it sort of feels like you got these big areas to explore, but you are sticking to a path.
You're directed, yeah. I know
yeah, exactly. And that's what you need with Pokemon, I think. So Pokemon, I'm assuming that you grew up on Pokemon like we did, Elliot.
Yeah, that's our generation.
Yeah,
that's our childhood Pokemon.
Yeah, and in me and Max's humble opinion, Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the greatest Pokemon games they've ever made.
No.
Oh, dear.
You three original. Just the three original.
Red, blue, and yellow.
Red, blue, yellow.
Yeah.
Red, blue, yellow. Yeah.
Get out.
But gold and silver that came out afterwards, it didn't take any of that away. It just expanded on it. You still had that. You could go back to the world of Red, blue, and yellow. And you had all these new cool Pokemon. Heart Gold and Soul Silver is just the DS remake, so it's better graphics. Yeah. You could have a little Pokemon following you around. Lovely. And just get all the badges. It's just a brilliant game. It is crying out for a remake, a big Switch HD 3D remake, and it needs to be done by the Dragon Quest guys.
Yeah, because they tried to... The last Pokemon game, Sword and Shield, they tried to make the big graphics and you can explore and you run into Pokemon in the wild, like Pokemon Go style, but it just didn't hit right. It just wasn't perfect. Whereas like Dragon Quest, the thing that makes Dragon Quest so good is the story is so intricate. You ended up completing it before me because I don't have the patience for big games, but how many hours did you put into Dragon Quest, Jesse?
About 130, I think.
30-hour game.
And that was, I didn't do any side quests. That was just me plowing through the story.
Yeah, that's hardcore in terms of a gameplay. And the great thing about Dragon Quest is you get all of these side characters as well. So imagine a Pokemon journey where you got your, say for example, from the animes, you got your Brock and your Misty joining you, and you can use their Pokemon in fights as well. And you have
that's a nice idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah, to kind of go across, and then you see stuff in the wild that you can kind of encounter. And because the thing with Heart Gold is the story is so good in the sense of your rival is an actual prick.
He's a total cunt.
He breaks
That's
into...
what you want, though, yeah.
That's what you want. He breaks into the lab. He steals a Pokemon. He raises it evil. He wants
ginger.
to kill you. He's ginger.
Ticking all the evil boxes, yeah.
Yeah.
And he wants to fight you to beat you. He's not like, hey, let's see who's stronger, friend. He's like, no,
he's like, no, I'm
going to kill you. I'm going to take all your money and your Pokemon.
Yeah, and
you're going to have your nuts. There you go.
No convoluted villain, just straight up prick.
Yeah, you know what he wants.
Yeah. So
we might get this tomorrow. There's a Pokemon Presents tomorrow. Have you seen this, Elliot?
I haven't, no. I didn't
3
realize.
PM. Yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow. They're doing a 20-minute direct on like Pokemon news for the year on what they're releasing.
I do think Pokemon is crying out for like just a big proper like open world RPG with the graphics and everything. Not like but with the same stories that you got on the classic games like the Red Blues, the Hearts Gold and things. But I know Pokemon's always been, it has always been in the anime, the that's that sort of like side of gaming. And yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see a game like this. It's definitely something I'd pick up.
Yeah,
I'd pick up and play 100%.
They've always kept it safe. They always just copy and paste. It's like Pokemon is almost the FIFA and the WE of anime games. They just copy and paste year on year and just update it with new Pokemon. That's all they do.
Well, that's the sad thing, isn't it? Like sort of like Sword and Shield comes out and every Pokemon fan is like, this isn't very good. This is too easy. It's just a bad Pokemon game. Completely crashes all the charts. It's still like top seller for everything. Why should they put effort in? And it's the same with FIFA, and it's the same with all this stuff. They release the same shit every year. Everyone buys it, me included.
Yeah,
I think it's our generation, though. In it, we were the ones with the. I remember when Pokemon first came out, like with the Pokemon cards and the TV show, and then the game come along. Like we've all grown up. We've kind of grown up from it, haven't we? So I think we'll all. Big Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's closer to our hearts than others, maybe. Yeah, you're right. So it hurts us more when they don't make good games.
I think people crave something new, though, because remember that beautiful summer, 2016, when Pokemon Go came out?
Oh, hated it, man.
Everyone was playing it, though, earlier. Everyone was playing it.
They were.
Was it really 2016?
It feels like so much longer.
I was in Birmingham, so yeah, it must have been 2016.
Yeah. I just remember when it come out, James used to try and fiddle it so much. It's like we'd be giving us a lift of training or something, and then he'd just be like, "Oh, I've just got to get me steps in on Pokemon Go." So he would be he knew the exact speed he could drive his car, where it was registering as walking. So we'd be sitting in his car and he'd be like, yeah, not got to be anywhere. It's just taking us like half an hour to go 100 meters.
Massive queue behind you.
Yeah.
He was dangerously obsessed. I remember him being like, "Oh, Max, do you want to come into town and hang out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, come hang out." We just walked around Birmingham for hours.
Yeah.
Just all these convoluted detour ways. And I was like, "Mate, I've got to go home in a bit." And he's like, No, 5 minutes.
Oh.
It was ridiculous. And then I remember going to like Pigeon Park and stuff, and it would just be seas of people. And I remember sitting there, and there must have been, because sometimes like a shiny or something would pop up. We were sitting in Pigeon Park, and like 30 people just sprinted out of the park. It was almost terrifying, and they were just going, "Shiny Megalodon, shiny!" 30 people sprinting, and that's when I closed the app and went, "This is not good for society."
Yeah, that's the moment, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was insane when it was out. But that's what I mean. People crave something new. They want something different. So give it to them, you cowards. Give them the big open world Pokemon game that everyone craves.
Favorite starter Pokemon, Elliot?
Oh, Charmander, always
solid.
Always Charmander. Yeah.
Got a can you see that? I've got a Charmander playing a Game Boy. Yeah, there he is.
That's ironic. Yeah, I like that.
It's always got to be the fire starters. Fire starters are the best. Twisted fire starters, exactly, Jesse. Cyndaquil for the win from Hard.
Yeah, you like Cyndaquil and Torchic in the next game. That was all the fire starters are good. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who my favorite Pokemon was. I did like the Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee.
Yeah, they're cool.
Hitmonchan, wasn't it? Hitmonchan.
No, you had it right the first time. Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee.
And they had when you watch the anime, they had the most effeminate voices ever. They'd be like, Hitmonlee! Not intimidating.
Oh,
no.
Oh, it was beautiful. What are we playing at the moment, guys? Either are you playing anything exclusive at the moment, or...
I've been bad at the moment in terms of I've been like you. I've been back on the Xbox, and I've got the Xbox Game Pass because I'm terrible at keeping attention on video games. So Xbox Game Pass is perfect for me. I spend 10 quid. I just download a game. Once I'm bored of it, I've not lost any money, and it's perfect. So there's a game on there called Frostpunk, which is similar to kind of the Civ's Age of Empires kind of thing, where it's post-apocalyptic winter world, and you've got to keep your people alive with this big generator heater, but you've got to expand as people join your camp and try and survive. People are needy. You can either take two paths in this game. You can either be like a really nice leader and it's all angelical and stuff, or you can become a religious tyrant. It's so much easier to be a religious tyrant because when people get out of line, you execute someone and they all fall back in line immediately. I don't know who has the patience to be a good person.
You can totally see why cult leaders like to be cult leaders.
100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think anytime I've played any of them like strategy style games where you've got the choice like the good or bad, I'll always start off trying to be good, but then you're like, yeah, it is just too much.
But then the people push you too far, and then you're forced to make those choices. Like,
it's not your fault.
It's not my fault. They made me do it. There's a bit in the game where I found these survivors, and it was like 30 children. Children aren't very good workers. Like, they can't get the coal from the mines. They can't. Their tiny hands are useless. So the game was like, do you want to bring them in and share your rations, or do you want to turn around and leave them? I'm just gonna leave that with you. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Those were my choices.
I wouldn't waste any of my food if they're not going to bring the coal in.
And also, I've been playing Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves has been great for kind of hanging out with friends and just sailing the seas and robbing people. So
it's an easy game to get into. Into it. Apparently, there's some big new pirate game coming, Skull and Bones. I keep seeing things about it, but then it's like one of them that seems to be you hear something about it, and then a couple of months later you hear something else. But then I don't think there's been I think Assassin's Creed had Black Flag, which was amazing.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I think a real pirate, like full next gen graphics, things like that, it's crying out for. But I do enjoy Sea of Thieves when I had that. Yeah, it was fun.
Just get to hang out with some friends, sail the seas. Not bad. What about you, Jesse?
Yeah. I'm the opposite of you. It's really weird. We talked about this before because, like, personality-wise, like you and me, like my attention span is horrible compared to yours, and like I can't concentrate on stuff. But with video games, like I love big long JRPGs that you get bored of, Max, and I just disappear into them. And the Switch, by the way, like I know I'm bumming the Switch right now, but it's like that is just next level. If you like JRPGs, they're all on there, and you could just play them forever. So I did Dragon Quest XI, didn't finish that not too long ago. Like I said, sunk stupid hours into that. Playing Octopath Traveler at the moment. Do you know that one? It's a Square Enix. It's a 8-bit. It's really weird. How would you describe it, Max? It's like 8-bit, but new. So like the water looks real and the graphics are amazing, but it's still 8-bit, like an original Pokemon game, whatever. So graphically, it looks mad, but it's really cool. But it's just a JRPG, turn-based. Sunk too many hours into that, and then Bravely Default comes out tomorrow, which is more of the same. I just like insular games.
Your weekend?
No, just insular games. Just me with weeby people leveling up. That's my life.
What about you, Elliot?
I've been playing through a lot of things recently, to be honest. I think, well, you two will know as gamers, like it's hard to try and find a few hours to sit down and actually play your game, especially with working and wrestling. So that's like the only good thing about lockdown. I've been able to complete pretty much every console game I've wanted to complete. But last couple of weeks I've moved on to the MMO RPG. I've been playing the Star Wars one, the Old Republic. Actually been really been enjoying that, to be fair. It's a bit like a sequel to Knights of the Old Republic, but with updated graphics and things. But then I think tomorrow I'm going to download Total War, give Total War. Although saying that, I might go for Civilization
go
after your recommendation. Yeah,
lose your whole weekend. But before we wrap up, we do still have Elliot's final choice. So I think we should get that.
I forgot about this one.
And I put this one last because this is the one I said to Jesse. You sent me that message, and I went to Jesse. Motherfucker stole my idea. So excellent choice.
Red Dead Redemption 2 and Star Wars Bounty Hunter from the GameCube. Star Wars Bounty Hunter on GameCube was just it was amazing. I think it was ahead of its time as well. It was just a really cool game for Star Wars back in what was it? I think it was like late 90s, early noughties.
Early noughties,
yeah. Just an amazing game. But then you've got Red Dead Redemption 2, which I personally think is the best game ever ever made. It's got everything you need, and it's an RPG where it's like I think I'd played it when it first came out, and then I never actually finished it. And then it's one of them games where you can't play on it for just an hour or two. You've got to have a good like 6-7 hour session. So when we came into lockdown, I actually managed to get it completed. But I just think if you had Red Dead Redemption, but it was actually in Star Wars about on there, you could just have the perfect. That I can't even fathom how good that would be. Because Red Dead Redemption, amazing. Star Wars, amazing. It'd be like The Mandalorian, but in a game. Fuck, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
Everyone I speak to about Red Dead Redemption 2 is like, it's amazing. It's one of the best games I've ever played. I haven't completed it. Like everyone says that to me. Like everyone fucking loves it, but no one's made it to the end.
I think with me, I know you touched on it earlier about RPGs. Like I could happily sit for 130, 140 hours on the same game if it draws me in. It's got to have the story and things, and Red Dead does that. I think it does. The story is fantastic. You don't even have had to have played the first one, but if you had, you get some cool Easter eggs and things in it. But it is a bit of a tough slog. Can't lie to you, but it is very rewarding throughout. And what's more satisfying than quick drawing and popping 6 bullets in someone? Like you get the actions on the game and things as well. Yeah, perfection in the game for me.
Put that into a Star. This is exactly what I was having. I wasn't going to go for Star Wars Bounty Hunter, but I was going to do something like Force Unleashed or something like that. And it was either going to be Red Dead Redemption 2 or Ghost of Tsushima, because Ghost of Tsushima has that amazing sword fighting stuff in it. But I thought Red Dead's got the gunshot, so you could have like your bounty hunters would be a lot better. But
that's it, yeah.
Give me the beauty of Ghost of Tsushima with a Star Wars game, and like you're pulling out, amazing.
Ghost of Tsushima came so close to making it onto this list. So that when I bought the PS4, that's the first game I got. And I thought, oh my fucking God, this is amazing. But it let me down towards the end. Because I think with the game, you could either go as like the honorable samurai, or you could be like the ninja.
Yeah.
But I didn't like being the ninja. I went in, I fucked people up with the katana in that. But then towards like the last third of the game, you kind of have to go the ninja. It takes the choice away from you. Yeah, and I was a bit like, it really lost me a little bit then.
Yeah, it pushes you that ninja route. So the uncle kind of has that dishonor thing of like how samurais do. But it's just, if you think of Star Wars and like Jedis are based on the Kurosawa films and samurais and stuff. So it just makes perfect sense to have that prettier game.
Does,
Would you play as a Jedi in this mashup game?
Or would I go Sith?
You'd be, or would you go Sith, or would you be a bounty hunter like Jango Fett? I suppose you got all these options. Right?
If it was took from Red Dead Redemption, I'd go as bounty hunter. But if we're going from Tsushima, I'd definitely be a Jedi, because I think that is some of the best combat I've ever had in any game. Like the satisfaction when you got six geezers coming at you, each one with different styles, and you've got to get them, time them counters in, and it was good.
Would be
really good.
Would be ridiculous, but
what color would your lightsaber be, Elliot?
Ooh,
green. Always green. Yeah,
nice.
I think I'd have to rock the Got Till 5 orange. I don't know many orange lightsabers.
I don't think there is any. No. Yeah, like Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson had he had the only purple one.
Yeah, apparently he had like badass motherfucker engraved on it as well. Yeah, that guy.
Badass. But like in Star Wars lore, the way that you power your lightsaber is a little kyber crystal, and they can be whatever color that you want them to be. So yeah, I don't understand why everyone's either just green or blue.
Well, I think it's supposed to. It's not a case that they can just like say, this is going to be a green one. I think it's something about the like your personality or something, or the energy that you put in. Because I know that's why all the dark people have red ones, because they like crush their soul into it. God, I've just nerded out. Then I
love it.
I did a wrestling podcast the other week, and one of their skits is they ask you to pick a specialist subject, and then you've got to answer as many questions as you can in a minute on it. Obviously, I went Star Wars, got 6 questions, shot straight up to the leaderboard. I was so nerdy that I actually told them that the answers they had for a couple of their questions were incorrect. That's like one of the questions was what species discovered the Death Star plans, and I was like, well, the films originally say Bothans, but if you go back and you watch Rogue One, it retcons it, and it's actually a human contingent and things like that. But yeah,
nice.
So cool to come on and talk games because I'm
I've never felt closer to you, Elliot.
Yeah,
never felt closer to you.
Honestly, Star Wars in games are my jam. Like, if I could come home from work and just sit on my Xbox or computer all night, I happily would. But unfortunately, these things like bloody having to be in shape to wrestle, and it just gets in the way of.
Suck it off, mate.
Elliot, just stop chasing your dreams.
Yeah. Retire right here, right now. Play some Xbox.
To be fair, I think my first match back might be my last match back anyway with my body. I'll take my first bump and be like, nah, you can have the title. Go on. Yeah, I'm done.
I really enjoyed that first match. Everyone just doing rest holds, like come on.
See, I'm not because my first, I've got Wolf Run. And my first match back for them is going to be a last man standing.
Nice.
Last man standing.
That was
match.
smart of you, wasn't it?
Well, it was booked before lockdown, and I just know that I'll turn up on the day, and anything that gets suggested, it's going to be like, yeah, let's do that. But you know what? We haven't done this in ages. Let's make it better. Let's not do a normal suplex through a table. Let's do a superplex through a table. It's going to be like that, and then
yeah. What would be the best match to kind of have the most chill time in? Like, of all the specialty
tag,
yeah.
A tag, I think, yeah.
6-man tag.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Or
6-man tag.
You do the old Survivor Series elimination and then just take the pin. Just take the first pin. Go in.
Yes.
Mark Henry kind of punch. 1, 2, 3. I'm in the back in the showers. Enjoy, lads.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A
Rumble. So I like a Royal Rumble. If Royal Rumbles are the best when you're not winning, you're not opening, and you're not final four, you can just literally go in and go straight out. I've had it before where I've just walked in. I've walked into a Rumble and I've just gone to hit someone, and then they've just caught me with like the weakest shot in the world, and I've just sold it and ended up outside of the ring and be like, right, showered, changed, I'm out here, like, yeah.
See you all at Nando's. Beautiful.
That's it, man. That's it.
Got a couple of honourable mentions that people sent across. Nick was talking about he likes his management game, so he wants Football Manager crossed over with FIFA. I think that's kind of a standard that people would want.
Yeah, well,
FIFA... I thought it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. I think it sounds great, and obviously, but with FIFA and Football Manager, they're two completely different games. FIFA is the simulation of the actual playing of the game, whereas Football Manager is everything else. It's all behind the scenes, the backstage, and that. Your sets are, when you're actually looking at them, like they're doing the game, you can only control the tactics and things like that. So I think if you brought them both together and you do all the tactics, but then you actually play the match as well, well, you're not really managing. You're not really managing the team then, yeah?
Yeah, I agree. FIFA is one of my guilty pleasures. I love playing FIFA, but the manager mode does need an overhaul and does need big improvements. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't need to become Football Manager. It wouldn't work. It just needs to be better in its own way, I think.
I love Football Manager as well. Like you turn it on, and next thing you know, you've been on it 12 hours.
That is, it's Age of Empires style, isn't it?
Those simulation games. Yeah. Another one was Here Comes the Pain crossed with EWR, and I had to research EWR. Apparently, it's like a online text-based. It's basically Football Manager for wrestling, where you do GM mode. But just play SmackDown versus Raw 2006. GM mode in that, unbelievable.
Yeah, GM mode in that was pretty good. But Here Comes the Pain is one of the best wrestling games
ever made.
The best wrestling game ever made is, well, both of them. SmackDown 1, SmackDown 2.
Oh, on the PS1?
Yeah, that was my first exposure to wrestling. I remember them 2 games. They'll always stick with me.
Nice. I like, I think it's 2, that it's like the only game that's ever had Dean Malenko as a playable character. And he was always one of my favorite guys when I was a kid. So I was just like, right, that's the only place I can be Dean Malenko. So I'm going to just turn him into world champion. Yeah,
it's the man.
Yeah. Maybe when the AEW game comes out, he's producer over there, they'll put like a little legend.
Yeah, I hope
there.
so. Oh, I'd love that.
I think they will. They're game fans as well, aren't they? So they're going to do everything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd have Malenko. Other ones we've had is Dead Space and No Man's Sky. Dead Space, I don't like horror games.
No.
And that one scared the shit out of me. Yes, I am, Jesse. Very, very proud. Another one, Sims and GTA. This is one that I brought up earlier to you, Jesse.
The idea of just breeding criminal families. I quite like that.
I like that, yeah.
Building your house and fucking shit up. Time for one more. Let's find a good one.
Can I say one? I said
yes.
I said FIFA with Super Smash Brothers, which I know sounds mental, but imagine playing FIFA but having like special moves and like little. So you're playing FIFA, but there's like little spirit things floating around that if you kick that whilst playing the game, you then get a special move where you get to do a super shot or something like that during the game. I'd love that shit. Yeah,
sounds a bit like Red Card Soccer. Don't know if you ever played that.
Oh fuck! Yeah.
The game, yeah.
I'd forgotten about that. That's brilliant. Oh, I need to get that again.
Who else mentioned Red Card Soccer the other day?
It was Matt.
Matt brought it up. Yeah. It's weird that this keeps getting brought up and brought up. The final suggestion that came up, which I thought was pretty cool, was Halo and Doom. Mixing Halo and Doom together would be insanely good to kind of put together. Any kind of last? I know you struggled with getting free, but any last minute that popped into your head, Elliot?
Well, I think I said I said that one to you earlier because I love Jack and Daxter. The second one, the open world one, I believe it was called Jack 2 Renegade. But I think crossing that over with Grand Theft Auto, like a Jack and Daxter with that much chaos, it'd be really fun for me. I think
that'd be awesome. I love the idea of them just like bombing it down the freeway with 10 police cars chasing them.
Yeah. Just Daxter on his shoulder, great games.
Well, this has been a fun episode. It was a challenge, but it was a fun episode.
It really was, yeah.
Come up with these kind of ones. We said, me and Jesse said that we're going to do another one in the future, but alternative histories of games. So like playing GTA as a cop, those kind of things would be to kind of think about. But
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Pokemon as Team Rocket was my idea.
Pokemon as Team Rocket. Yeah. Play the bad guy version,
and
all this kind of stuff.
A lot of opportunities there, actually. Yeah.
And I think if we properly delved into this and made this a 3-hour podcast, we could keep going with these. No issue whatsoever. I was going to say plug your shit, Elliot, but do you have a date or stuff when things are getting back to normal?
I don't. I'm afraid. If you follow me on Twitter at Elliott Jordan XP. Instagram at the Elliott Jordan Experience, Facebook, the Elliott Jordan Experience, and as soon as things come back, they'll be the first places to see. Obviously, I'm repping Kamikaze now. Follow Kamikaze, Wolf Run, Southwest Wrestling, FCW. And anywhere else that I might be appearing when shows come back, drop me a follow. I'd love to hear from you, and hopefully you can see you two soon as well, face to face.
Yeah, man. Well, as far as I'm concerned, lockdown isn't over until we see the Elliott Jordan Experience back in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
That's when lockdown finishes.
That's when it's finished for us. But generally, mate, the minute that first show's on, I will be there because like I miss seeing you all and I miss hanging out with audio Camelot. So I'll be there kind of front and center.
We do miss you, Maximus, as well.
Don't let me take a bump. You don't know what will happen. Something will pop out of me.
I'll probably be the one giving it to you. Just randomly. Don't sit the front row first show back. Yeah. I might get excited. And just powerbomb you.
Yeah. Oh, memories. So me and Jesse will be back next week with another episode. Obviously, you can go pick up some sexy merch at our new merch store. There's lots of stuff coming up. We've got free shipping tomorrow all weekend on all of the merch. So make sure you go check it out. It's payday. Support your lovely Got Till 5 boys and pick up some merch. We've got some new designs in there. You can find that at the fantastic gottill5.tmail.com. But there's a big website that they can go to for all of our links, as well as the link to the store, and that is Jesse Ben's
gottill5.com.
He's like a trained seal. Here's your fish. Good job. You've earned your pay today.
I see the resemblance, bless him. Yeah.
Balances a little ball on his nose. Yeah. Elliott, thank you for joining. Jesse, you've been here.
Guys.
I'm always here. Pleasure to speak to you, Elliott, and nice to have you always.
No, it's a pleasure, but I've got to go, and my housemate's looking at me. Thursdays is RuPaul night, so I've got a very fun hour in store for me. So I will love you and leave you guys. But yeah, hopefully we can do it again before 18 months. Let's not leave it so long this time.
Yeah,
and hopefully when lockdown's over, we can get together and actually have a game as well. That'd be cool.
That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, that'd be wicked.
Thank you, Elliott, and thank you everyone who took the time to watch this episode and listen on Spotify and Apple and wherever. Subscribe, do all the good stuff, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye, good night, love you all.
Ta-ra.